Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little different. Been kind of thinking about it, and I think it might be a good idea to walk through actually how to ride a bike in case you're interested. There's a few things you really need to know. Some of them are able to be translated across bikes pretty easily. Some of them are bike specific. An example of bike specific would be pretty much anything right here. Like, my turn signals are right here. On your bike, your turn signals might not be. All of this stuff controls different things on my screen. You might have something else. But what's pretty much common and standard, unless you are riding a really old Indian bike or really just any older bike before things were standard. On the handlebars, you got throttle on your right, front brake with the throttle, clutch on the left, and then for feet controls, on the left side, you got gear shift, and on the right, you have the rear brake. It is different than a car, mainly because you can control which brake you want to use and how much of each brake you want to use. But, I mean, for the most part, besides the gear lever, which I'll get into in a second, it's pretty much pull for clutch, pull for brake, push, I guess, for rear brake. It'll lock up. The gear shift on most bikes now, it's if you're in neutral, it's down for 1 and up for 2 through 6. I mean, that's something you're just going to have to kind of get a feel for. Again, there is different types of shifting. There's GP shifting, which I think is neutral bottom. Or no, actually it's neutral top, and then 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, all the way through. That's not as common as neutral in between 1 and 2, and 1 down, the rest up. But yeah, one of the first things you're going to want to do when getting on any new bike, well, first off, make sure you're wearing gear. Gear is important. But you want to make sure you're in neutral. My bike shows it with this light and on the screen right here. Start it up, go into first. So for me, that's down, into first. And you just kind of want to slowly let out the clutch until it starts bringing you. And that's going to be what's called the friction zone. And that's going to be the lifeblood of your time on a bike. I mean, as you get into the friction zone, you can feel the back tires starting to push. If you continue to release it, give it a little bit of throttle, you're going to go. Now, you're going to use that a ton, mostly in slower speed maneuvers. So like right here, to make these turns, I'm kind of going in and out of the friction zone to keep myself moving. When you find out, like it is the one main thing, if you've ever driven manual in a car, that is different, is in a car you're not really wanting to slip the clutch a lot, but on a motorcycle you're slipping the clutch all the time. It just makes it so much easier to make a small adjustment like this and be able to keep going, as you're just kind of riding in that friction zone. Now, once you're going faster, you're not going to be in the friction zone that much. But in terms of being able to basically set and make a tight turn like that, you're going to be using the friction zone the whole time. And so on any new bike, any bike you're riding for the first time, it is good to just stop, be in first gear, and find it. Make sure that, yeah, just understand where it is. Not only will this help you in slow speeds, but it'll help you whenever you need to start out from a stop. Once you know where it is, it's easier to just kind of, like, I'm at a red light, it turns green, I'm going. Just because I'm used to this bike now, I know where that is. It is possible to stall if you let it out too quickly, but as long as you are giving it some throttle, you're good to go. And don't worry, I will get on the road in a minute. But so again, get on the bike, get to that friction zone, and in my MSF, we did it for like 10 minutes where all we did was friction zone, release. Do I have an alarm going off? So I wake up alarm for the weekends. I woke up a little earlier today. And then yeah, another thing you're going to want to practice. You're not really going to be using this on the road that much, and you can kind of get away with never having to go into neutral. But neutral can be one of those really annoying things starting out. Because if I'm in first and I just straight pull up, oh, I guess it's not really wanting to do that right now because I'm not moving. But It is really easy at the beginning to go straight from first to second, and you kind of have to fiddle with it to be able to pop it into neutral. And I mean, I try not to be at neutral at lights. A lot of people do, like you'll see a biker kind of just sitting, arms crossed, waiting for the light to go green. You can do that, but you are kind of just, yikes, my bike is getting hot. But you are kind of just, you're not able to react to something that happens around you when you're like this. I mean, I've seen it firsthand of someone slowly creeping up behind me and me getting out of the way of them. Or there could be a time where someone comes up behind you real fast, and it's safer to be in first as much as you can. But either way, once you get the friction zone down, you are going to want to practice with some braking. I mean, I'll show some of it. I don't have that much space in this parking lot, but as I said before, the brake that's on my hand is the front brake. I squeeze it, the front goes down. I also have a brake on my right foot, and that brake slows you down a lot less. It doesn't have as much grip just because of the way the bike works, and when it's braking it's going forward. And in general, it is the weaker brake of the two. So when you are in an emergency stop, you are wanting to use both of the brakes. So as you gain speed, you use both brakes and you stop pretty quickly. And the brakes on your bike, you're just going to have to feel out. I mean, they're all a little different, but the front is the stronger of the two. If I remember correctly, it gives you about 70% of your total braking force. And practice all of this at a parking lot. But as you get up to speed, here, I'll go down. As you're getting up to speed, it's going to feel crazy the first time. But you get to a point where you need to shift. And to shift, you just pull in the clutch, pull up on the lever at your left foot, and go into gear. So right now I'm in third. It's time to shift to fourth, clutch in, pull up, fourth gear. In terms of actually being on the bike, it's once you get all of this down of using every single body part for a different kind of control, basically. Once you have that down, how you actually ride the bike is very similar to riding a bicycle. I mean, all of the controls are good to use your turn signals. My alarm's going off again. I guess I snoozed it. Whatever. Come on, man. Dismiss. Okay. We should be good to go now. Yeah, there's me using my friction zone to make a tight U-turn. But yeah, as you get up to speed, clutch in, lift up, clutch out. Clutch in, lift up, clutch out. And as long as your bike has a similar setup to this, which most modern bikes do nowadays, you're off. Now, getting slightly more advanced is judging your speed and judging distances. Right? Like, I know there's a red light coming up here. I could just go and slam on my brakes, but instead, I'm going to downshift. And for downshifting, it's just the opposite. Clutch in, stomp down, give it a little bit of throttle, and ease the clutch back out. And that'll do wonders in slowing you down. I mean, if there's cars around you, it's always good to have your brake light on so that they know you're slowing down. So whether that be just like lightly holding the front brake to assist you slowing down, lightly holding the rear brake to assist you slowing down, and engine braking, or even just use the brakes. At that point, it's really up to you. But you do always want to be watching. You want to be seeing what other cars are doing around you. You don't really want to be in anyone's way, but at the same time, you got to watch and make sure that they understand what you're doing. But going back to actually controlling the bike. A lot of people think that it is just like lean and go. And I mean, if you're big like me, you can kind of just throw your weight and get the bike to go. But It's not the easiest way to drive. And you are kind of just throwing your weight. And even in here, I'm probably using the bars a little bit anyway. The easiest way to get into a turn, and it's going to feel natural once you start doing it, is to, like, let's say I want to go into a left turn. So I'm going to start on the right side. I want to go into a left turn. Actually turn the bars right, and that leans my bike left. So again, I'm going to start pushing out with this hand. If I push out, I start leaning. And then obviously you turn the other way to correct yourself back to center. And so that gets you going back and forth. I like those old Silvias. I think that's what that was. That's how you initiate a turn. Like if there was a left turn coming, you just kind of got to turn the handlebars to the right and your bike starts going to the left for you. Now, slow speed is a little different. You can't just, like while moving, I can't just be like, oh, I'm going to turn right and turn right. You're going to go left. But once you kind of get that lean going, you are kind of turning with the bars. But as we come up to a little bit of a faster corner, there is obviously limits to the grip you have, whether it be your tires, your power, whatever else. But you don't want to be braking mid-turn. Really, you want to get to a comfortable speed before the turn, go into the turn, and if you are going too fast, you don't want to be braking. If anything, you want to just lean harder to get through the turn. You want constant throttle input while turning, because that's what gives your back tire its grip. And I'm not saying like don't full throttle around a turn, but you don't want to be coasting in a turn, if that makes sense. Obviously, slower speed maneuvers, you're a lot more straight. The faster you're going and the sharper the turn, the more lean you need. And so it is always judging what the turn's going to be, getting into your lean, and making it through the corner. Now, as a safety thing, and you'll see this a lot, you always want to be as visible as possible on a bike. Just because you're fast and nimble doesn't mean I should be up close behind that car in front of me on this side of the road. Because what happens if someone needs to turn here? Well, they might see that there's a gap to the car behind me, and they don't see me because I'm being blocked by that infinity right now. And so they're more likely to kind of turn out into my lane and hit me. So you kind of want to be further back from cars, and you want to be in the most visible position possible, which a lot of times means the center of the road. So you'll see, like right now I'm riding on the left of the lane. If there's a car coming here, there's no way they don't see me. Around a corner, you are a little bit looser with it, as one of the best ways to take a corner is outside, inside, outside. And that does have to adjust depending on which way the turn's going. Obviously, if you're going to be leaning over the line, you're too close to the other lane mid-turn. But as long as you are visible, and as long as you are in your lane, you can have a lot of fun on a bike. But yeah, so like this turn, you kind of want to start, this is a long sweeping, so it's a little different. But if you start on the outside, kind of go to the inside, and go back out to the outside, it's pretty easy to make it. And I mean, depending on all kinds of reasons, like you do have to be looking. If there's some gravel on the road that could cause you to slip, or an obstacle, like a tree, you want to adjust your line accordingly, and you don't want to be going too fast that you miss it and end up getting hurt. Yeah, it's something I do recommend. You've kind of noticed I'm going in a loop. I've called this the loop before on this channel. And this is where I decided that I was going to learn how to ride a bike. It's a perfect it's a perfect loop that I can go on. And it has a few different challenges. It has this 2-lane part where there's usually some traffic. Then you come up to a turn. And you are on a 1-lane here for a little bit. This is, as an example, where you can practice accelerating, where you can see if there's cars behind you, practice braking a little bit. And for me, this was perfect, right? Because I have a little place to practice speeding up a bit, slowing down. There's a stop sign up here for stop and go. And then as I continue, there's a few nice curves to get some lean action in. And so once you're comfortable riding in the parking lot, understanding your friction zone, maybe even take the speed up a little bit in the parking lot to start feeling how your bike leans, find a road like this, where find a path. I like it being a loop because that means I can just go in circles. And I'm practicing everything at once. And I mean, I forgot how long this straight was. This straight's pretty long. But it is nice because you do come up to a stop sign where you have to practice a stop. Look around, make sure everyone sees you, and go from a stop. Going this way on the loop, I just so happen to have a few stop signs. So here, I'm coming up to another stop. Since this is the loop I take, I will be turning right. And then up here, I have the first little curvy section. So coming up here, I mean, I know it says 25. That means it is a little bit tight. But I'm also on a motorcycle, so I can go a little faster. But now I'm leaning. Oh, this car is turning. Yeah, and then this is a tighter double turn. So you practice turning in, straightening up, turning back the other way. It is always best to be straight up and down when you're braking. It helps with your balance as a whole. But to continue the loop, if you go this way, there's a few more curves. So practice, lean in, straighten up, initiate, lean in, straighten up. And yeah, it's a good loop to drive. So again, after you're done practicing in a parking lot, you're feeling comfortable about the controls, you understand how to start slow, speed up, shift, start from a dead stop. Once you get all of this down, find a road like this where it's pretty empty. I mean, this is neighborhoods. Depending on what time of day, it could be busy. And that way you're practicing getting into a lean, adjusting your line if you have to, and straightening back up. Yeah, riding a bike is probably one of the most fun things you can do. It is kind of just freeing, being outside. I mean, there is obviously the element of danger, but you should always be within your own risk tolerance. And tolerance isn't a great word. The graph that is on the MSF test, or at least the course, is risk versus skill. And so, kind of one of those things, as you're building up skill, like you're most likely to do stupid things when you don't have the skill. I'm just going to throw that out there. I've fallen to victim to that too a bit. But the more skill you have, the more you understand the bike that you're riding, the more you are able to get away with. Meaning, whenever you get into like a specific problem, if you understand how your bike's going to handle you whipping out of the way real quick, and you've practiced that, you're more likely to get out of the situation. And so it is best to practice as much as you can on the bike before doing some stuff you probably shouldn't be doing. Like, don't just hop on a bike and floor it on the interstate. Gosh. As you practice and as you get comfortable on the bike, you're able to do more things. Yeah, ride safely. Always be on watch for what cars are doing around you. Give yourself enough space to brake quickly if you have to, and try to always leave room to get out of harm's way if you need to. But do have fun. If you are watching this before you do an MSF course, I will have another video coming out soon explaining more in depth some of the actual MSF teachings and like why the thing rider versus skill matters, how to see what's going on around you. But I mean, a lot of it comes with time and dedication to your own safety and the safety of others around you. And riding a bike is genuinely fun, no matter how you do it. A small cruise around town, maybe taking the speed up a little bit, even just daily commuting. It can give that little bit of like a spice of life, you know? You're doing something that honestly is pretty dumb. It's not safe. But like living life normally isn't safe either. I mean, it is, if you drive a manual car, it is very similar. I was able to pick up shifting on the bike pretty quickly. I mean, obviously everything else about it's different. But if you've ridden a bicycle, the rest of it also kind of just falls into place. But yeah, a lot of my other controls are bike specific. I mean, my bike's newer, so I don't even have to worry about choke when starting it up. This video is more about actually riding the bike and not all the pre-checks and starting it up and anything like that. But alright, finishing this video right back where we started it at. When you're done for the day, go to your parking spot, put it in neutral, shut off the engine, put the kickstand down, and you're all set to go. Now, hopefully my rambling helped. Riding bikes is fun. I recommend just do the MSF course, whether you're going to get a bike or not. And yeah, if you like this video, please consider giving it a like. Please consider subscribing. I am still kind of new at all this video stuff. Anyway.